Welcome back, traders and investors. We have a director of the CBOE, senior instructor of the Options Institute, Marty Kearney, here on the line to give us a little bit of options education. Marty, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, thanks, Joe.
All right, so we're going to get right into it here. Last time you were giving us a little bit of education in the options markets. And first, to start out with, we were talking about that short term VIX that was coming out. And I believe the symbol here is VXST. How's that getting off the ground?
I think it's been a little better than expected. It's a short-term volatility. Volatility is kind of a forward-looking 30-day situation, and even though the markets can be pretty active and volatility can jump, we're still looking. But what's it going to be 30 days from now? So this VXST is based on the S&P 500 weekly options. So we're only going out at the farthest about 9 days when we bring up the weekly on that particular Thursday, just like we do with the weeklies now for the other equities or stocks. So it's a real tight snapshot of what is volatility doing right now. I think it's a much more I think it's a much more accurate calculation of what volatility is today. But it's interesting to look at the two of them, Joel. When we compare the short-term VIX and the regular VIX, that there is no fair value. It could trade at a higher value than the VIX or a lower value than the VIX. So much more sensitive to the temperature of the market.
So it's a shorter term VIX than the VIX. Have you seen increasing volume in it, or volume in the
Yeah,
options?
it's every day is a little different. I think on Friday we had a couple of hundred, 250 or so option contracts. Not a huge number, but the VIX didn't start out very active either, and we're trading. What do we trade? We traded 580,000 contracts on Friday in the VIX. So it'll get there, but a lot of interest, and a lot of people coming in and looking at markets. Asking for spread markets, things like that. So far so good on the short-term VIX.
Do you set goals for that to reach in order to consider it a successful product? Or I know there's a lot of research and money that goes into marketing the products. Do you guys set a timetable? Because I know, back from my days at the Merck, they tried a lot of different products and they put a lot of money into it, and it's a tough thing to do. Do you guys have timetable or expectations for it?
No, nothing real firm. And you're right about products too. That we've had products that we listed because of demand, and then they didn't trade, and we dropped them. We had, for example, the quarterly options, Joe. We were brought that on due to requests by institutional people. It didn't do well. We discontinued it. A couple years later, we tried it again. It does well. So
Huh.
so sometimes you just don't know. But no, I don't think we have any hard and fast timetable. Some of it has to do with a couple of firms getting their systems up and running. A couple of firms, maybe they have kind of a need to understand the product a little bit. Especially maybe some of the retail firms. Do we want customers trading it? But they're
Okay.
coming around, and that's part of our educational thrust to make sure that we get the story out as to what it is and how it works.
Okay, so we have a little bit of different week this week. We have the regular expiration of the options, so those are being a substitute for the actual weekly options. Are there any kind of correlations or any tips you could give to our traders to look out for this expiration week?
Well, as usual, everybody's looking at Europe and things of that nature. We have a good number of retailers reporting this week. I think that pretty much, if I'm not mistaken, that pretty much wraps up that whole first quarter earnings report stuff with these retailers coming out. But I think it's just watch the news and take a look at that level of volatility and see what happens. So I think right now, we were talking right before we went on, kind of a slow morning so far, other than that Hillshire Farms news. But other than that, Hillshire Brands. But other than that, regular expiration. Let's see what happens.
Okay, now this is really interesting to me. You're writing a short piece on expirations being moved to Friday to Saturday. Now, I know there's some things that go on where if something is close in the money, you could still get extra exercise. But talk about this. I mean, this would be a big change in the industry if you went to a Saturday expiration. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, you know what happened years ago, back in the Stone Age, when I was down on the trading floor. The options ceased trading, that third Friday of the month, the regular expiration, but they didn't settle until Saturday. The whole point was that we couldn't get everything key punched and cleared, and some of your people don't even know what key punching is.
Key
I think they're
punch,
too
key
young.
punch.
Anyway, with us going to weekly options, things like the VIX that expires 30 days before a regular expiration, so the expiration of VIX is on a Wednesday. The whole industry is slowly, changing it so that it's not the Saturday following expiration Friday; it's expiration Friday. So what's happening is that, for example, this Friday, if this is kind of under the old system, where we cease trading Friday, we settle on Saturday morning. Once that's over and done, when we add the next month, it's going to cease trading on a Friday and settle on Friday. So right now we kind of have a mix of, and traders should be aware of this if they're looking at their brokerage firm's analytical information with how many days until expiration. Are we going to Friday or are we going technically to Saturday? But anyway, so slowly but surely, especially with things like the leaps, it'll take a while for us to get everything back on the way we want it, which is cease trading on a Friday, settle on a Friday. So we're going in that direction. So your investors and traders might have a little bit of confusion. Some series with a stock or an ETF or an index might show a Friday expiration. Some might show a Saturday expiration, in a following month. We're just slowly cycling those things in.
So you would there wouldn't be markets open. It would just be
No.
the final. So you wouldn't have to be there getting up and trading on a Saturday morning when there's
No. But
college.
so in other words, one stock, ABC this weekend. We ceased trading on Friday. This could be one of the last monthly expirations where technically it doesn't settle until Saturday. But everything new, every new expiration we add, whether it's a weekly or a monthly or quarterly or a leaps, everything new we add right now is a Friday expiration. So we cease trading on Friday, we settle on Friday.
So would that change like the fair value calculations, or all the deltas and the sigmas and the rows and things like that if you're adding
Well,
an
one of my cohorts and I we're looking into that. We don't think so, but we think it could. If are there 51 days till expiration or are there 52? Depending on what does your firm's software do, or what does the software you use from some outside service? What are they counting to Friday or are they counting to Saturday? So hopefully in the very near future, as we start eliminating all these older type series, we won't have this problem anymore. It's just going to be whatever day you see, that's the day that that option expires.
So what time are they expiring on Friday now? Right at boom 4 o'clock, then where they go off the board?
I think we have to wait until everybody gets through the Options Clearing Corporation. We do the actual people can turn in exercise notices or not turn in exercise notices. So I think it's kind of early in the evening. I don't know if there's a set time, but it is on Friday, but it is not on Saturday.
Okay, all
If that
right.
makes sense.
Yeah, no, that would be a big change for the industry. So, just looking at the exposure to individual traders and options traders, it really things wouldn't change that much then.
No. It's kind of transparent for most traders and investors. It's just kind of more of a technical thing, but hopefully it will eliminate any confusion. And if we ever do go to something more often than the weekly settlement, we're not going to have a Tuesday option settling on a Wednesday. That would just get out of control, don't you think? So hopefully it's just going to be very, very clear and simple for everybody to understand.
And then it will be set even across all the brokers, there'll be a standard time
Oh yeah,
because Dennis is saying that he has till 4:30 on one of the platforms that he's trading. Yeah, he likes to trade the after hours, and he's just given an example, of being able to trade out of the money options. And if he's long
sure.
Apple 600 calls and it closes at 599.80 for an example, he can go short at 600.50 after hours because then he, even though something expired out of the money, it's into the he can exercise his 600 call option in the after hours.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a little bit different subject than the Saturday expiration, but you're absolutely right. What happens is that the Options Clearing Corporation has a set time. Now, I want to say I'm guessing here. Okay, I want to say it's 6 o'clock Eastern. Okay, that ordinarily, if you own an option, it's in the money, will automatically exercise. But you're absolutely right. Do not assume if you are short that 600 call and the stock closed at 599.95, that you will not be assigned, because what happens is if it's a 6 o'clock cutoff Eastern time at OCC, his brokerage firm might say, we want to know by 4:30. We're going to close our window at 4:30 so we can get to the window at the OCC before they close their window at 6 o'clock. So yeah, do not assume that you will or will not be assigned, because it's not up to you. It's kind of a random process through OCC, but it can be affected for a very short time after regular hours in the aftermarket session.
Okay, so just to finish up here, the VIX, just this extended period of low volatility, the market just, climbing this slow wall of worry. There's really no worry. And the tapering is set. Are you seeing, anything that could, disrupt this extended period of low volatility?
No, I think for the time being, the measurement of volatility isn't, just because volatility is low doesn't mean it can't stay low or even go lower. As you know, as a former trader, overbought, oversold can go on for a heck of a lot longer than you have the capital to fight the market, right? But I think that to me, I'm seeing just a little bit more calmness than maybe there should be. But I am seeing some interesting, very inexpensive spreads taking place in things like the VIX that could point to some people are hedging. What happens if we do have a little bit of a quick correction here? These people might be positioning themselves to perhaps hedge a portfolio or take advantage of a very quick downward move in the markets. So I think there's uncertainty out there. I think maybe we have a little bit more to go, but I think long term, I think at some point we're going to have a little pop up in VIX, a little pop down in the market, and let's see what happens.
Okay, we've had Marty Kearney on, senior instructor at the Chicago Board of Options Exchange, talking about the new VIX product, the potential of going to Saturday expirations, not really making our trading week any longer, but just a way here to another twist on the market. So, Marty, when's that paper coming out?
No, I publish little things on our CBOE blog.
Okay.
I'll have it up. It should be out by the end of the week at CBOE.com.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Marty. Have a good trading week.
Thanks, Joe. You too. Bye-bye.